Hour number 2 here on this Friday edition of the LoDown Live. You can watch along with the show over on KHTK.com. So if you're sitting at the office, just pull us up on the computer, KHTK.com. Your boss isn't going to mind. Our website is more than work safe and friendly.
Your boss is probably watching.
Your boss is definitely watching.
Hey, boss.
We are your boss's favorite radio show.
True.
And on Fridays, we're your boss's favorite TV show, too. Even though it's not on TV, it's on... You get it. Same thing.
Same thing.
You can also watch along on your phones if you just go to the Safari app or whatever browser you have. Go to KHTK.com. We are compatible for mobile devices, so watch along, have some fun with us. You can watch us watch the NCAA tournament. That lead that Gardner-Webb had is now down to 6. It is 36-30 as the first half is coming to a close right now. Tennessee up 12 on Colgate at halftime. And UC Irvine with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left. Number 13, UC Irvine is up 4 on number 4, Kansas State. Again, 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in that one.
That would be the biggest one to date as far as upsets. There's been plenty of them on seeding, but that would be the biggest one.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite movies debuted 25 years ago, and a historic moment for professional wrestling fans happened 20 years ago today. We'll talk all about that. And, well, Shaq has we'll get to it later. Mailbag coming up at 2:30. We'll get back to the Kings at 2 o'clock. And, of course, as I always do, I forgot to tell you when we're going to win Eric Church. I don't even know why I do this, because you don't remind me. Chris doesn't remind me. I can't remember. I am worthless at times.
How about a reminder right now?
Okay, go ahead. Remind me.
It's time to give away. Make sure you let everybody know what time they're going to win these Eric Church tickets.
They can win these tickets. You can win these tickets to see Eric Church at the Golden One Center for his epic 2-night experience on November 22nd and 23rd at 2:30.
Okay.
Right when we launch into our Friday mailbag.
Mailbag.
One of everybody's favorite segments, because really, it's your segment. These are your letters that you're sending to Jason Ross. I think Cody mentioned a VHS tape arrived earlier this week. 2:30, we'll have the mailbag segment, and at 2:30, we will have your chance to win tickets to see Eric Church. Now, remember, if you're not familiar with how we do this, you don't have to wait for us to call. You don't have to listen for an Eric Church song. You don't have to do any of that. Just at 2:30, call. That way, if you're watching on KHTK.com, where you might be a little bit delayed, you have an equal opportunity to win as someone who's listening on 11:40 a.m. with no delay. So, again, 2:30, your chance to win tickets to see Eric Church. We had ended our conversation just a moment ago about a couple of really good NBA games tonight. The Rockets and the Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not the second straight night, but the second straight game, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Toronto Raptors were due battle in a game that the Oklahoma City Thunder desperately need.
They do, and they've been going the wrong direction for whatever reason. I still really like their top-level talent in Westbrook and Paul George, even Steven Adams, but Jeremy Grant's been good for them. But they've just been in a rut here. They've played some good teams, but they haven't been able to get enough quality wins here as of late. And I know I said a while back, I really thought they were going to end up as high as the 2 seed in the West. Instead, they're not fighting to get in, but they're fighting still for positioning, which it's really slid on them, and that's a big difference from being potentially a 2 seed throughout the tournament, throughout the playoffs, to 6, 7, 8 seed.
Yeah. And Toronto, on the other hand, they're fighting for home court advantage throughout the playoffs, as they are 2 games back from the Milwaukee Bucks. I didn't realize Philadelphia's won 6 in a row.
Yeah, which is what they did at the end of last year, and now they're getting – well, Embiid's back, obviously. They've got that starting 5 all ready to go, and that's what they can boast. That group is amazing.
I know you said this a couple of days ago privately. What was it, 16 games in a row to end the season?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Because they were 36-30, which nothing wrong with that. Won the last 16 to be 52-30, and one of the largest, if not the largest, win streak of the season last year.
And you've also got the Rockets and the Spurs. The Spurs finally lost a game, and now you've got just an absolute mess here at 5, 6, 7, and 8. 4 teams, the Thunder, the Spurs, the Jazz, and the Clippers, are 42-30 right now. The Oklahoma City Thunder did not play a basketball game yesterday, and they went from the 8th seed to the 5th seed. This is very deja vu-ish of what happened last year.
Yeah, and that's the way the West is going to be, and that's why as the Kings improve, I mean, mathematically, again, they're still not out. The magic number's just shrinking. I mean, it's just a matter of days now before they officially get eliminated, but the jump still has to be significant for Sacramento next year because who else is sliding? Who's falling out of the 8? Who around them is also going to improve? So I really like what the Kings are doing, but man, the West has kind of now finally gotten to that point where that the floor of the win total was going to be pretty high. I think it's 47, 48 wins, and that's an area I just as good as the season the Kings have had, they can't get to that high.
This is a ball game that we got going on right here. 66-64 with 42 seconds left. UC Irvine is up.
Oh, my.
Kansas State just threw the ball out of bounds.
Right to their own bench.
Well, I can see the confusion.
Yeah.
But my goodness, UC Irvine with a 2-point lead and the ball, and they just took the graphic off the screen, but I think it's about 40 seconds left.
I mean, to be fair, he was open.
He was wide open.
Coach
he actually threw it to an assistant coach. Yeah. He didn't even throw it to one of the guys in uniforms. They're opting not to foul. I think that's the right play here. As time ticks down, as the clock gets below 30 seconds. Again, UC Irvine has the ball. They are up 2 points with about 23 seconds left, 14 seconds left on the shot clock. This is a 13 versus a 4. The 13 is up to, and I never understand why teams do that. They played defense for 21 seconds and fouled with 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to, but he did. He was very aggressive defensively, the player from Kansas State.
You've got to understand you can't play that aggressively when you're trying not to foul.
Yep, because the refs, they don't assume you're going to foul, but they're going to lean that way because you're the trailing team.
Well, the ref is going to assume if you haven't fouled by that point, you're not trying to.
Yeah. And are they double bonus? Yeah, it'll be 2 free throws. It's not 1 and 1. So, yeah, Irvine.
This happened yesterday in the Louisville-Minnesota game.
Mm-hmm.
The exact same thing where Louisville, I don't know if Louisville couldn't decide what they were going to do. I don't know if, was it Chris Mack, if he was calling from the sidelines to foul. But they played defense for well over half the shot clock and then committed a foul.
Yeah. Well, Irvine, I don't know that they'll ice the game if they make both, but they'll be in great position.
They'll be in pretty good position. And free throws played a factor yesterday while we were on the air in a number of different games. He hit the first one to give him a 3-point lead. He's going back to the line for one more. Again, if you're watching on KHTK.com, you can excitedly watch us watch TV. It's the one time of year that we do this where our attention has to shift off our notes over to live sports. This is something I'm sure Grant and Doug deal with on a daily basis, but for us, it's a little bit new.
Yeah, I mean, the Thursday and Friday.
Per year, I should say.
Of the tournament. So they made both, so Kansas State's got to just go.
He tried to do the gimmick where he didn't touch the ball, but it hit him on the inbound. He goes for 3, misses.
It's a wrap. Well, yeah.
Oh, there's a foul. I think UC Irvine is going to win this one. I think a 13 is going to beat a 4 here. There's 7 seconds left. They're going back to the foul line. UC Irvine up 4 on number 4, Kansas State. As this becomes official, we will certainly let you know. Virginia and Gardner-Webb are at the half right now. Virginia, the number 1 seed, Virginia, trailing for the second straight year to a 16 seed, Gardner-Webb. It is 36-30. At the half. Tennessee and Colgate getting back underway in the second half. Number 2 seeded Tennessee with a comfortable lead right now as that one gets back underway.
What do you know about Gardner-Webb? Anything?
Are you kidding me? Come on.
Do you know what state they're in? Because I didn't. I had to look it up. You know where they're from?
Gardner-Webb. No.
They're from North Carolina.
Okay.
And I'm looking at famous alums. I mean, I remember we tried to do this with Maryland, Baltimore County last year. We didn't find much. The most famous name that I see is actually a former ABA and NBA All-Star, actually a Basketball Hall of Famer, Artis Gilmore.
Okay.
But after that, I'm not recognizing very many names at all. So good for them. Obviously, if they could pull that off, that would be.
Do you remember the alums from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County?
I don't anymore, but I remember there was just a couple that I think we knew the names of. But,
okay.
What an opportunity, though. And this is going to be great if Irvine, for them, looks like they're going to get the win.
Yeah, it looks like they are. It looks like they are, just as so many people correctly predicted this one. We heard all sorts of reasons. I told you, assistant coach for the Sacramento Kings, Bob Thornton, he is an alum of UC Irvine. He was adamant that his squad was going to win this game, and it looks like he was dead on, as I'm sure many of you were. You picked UC Irvine in your brackets. They are up 6 right now with 7 seconds left. The inbound here is I can't give you play-by-play, so I'll just kill time, as they were smart to play off that, and they missed. And, yep. There it is. The number 13 beats a number 4.
Wow.
Number 13, UC Irvine, beats number 4, Kansas State, 70-64. Update your brackets accordingly. Did we all have UC Irvine?
I did.
Chris did. I did. Okay,
Yeah.
how about that? So are we back to being geniuses now?
Back?
Well, I
We
wasn't
were never
feeling,
gone.
I wasn't feeling very genius-y
Yeah.
after yesterday's afternoon games.
Right. But that's the first win ever in the NCAA tournament for UC Irvine. That's awesome.
Oh, there you go.
Just their second appearance. But I think moments like that are really, really cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
What are the Kings doing today? Are they here? Can we get Bob on the phone today? He's got to be thrilled.
See if we can.
Let's send
See if we
that
can get a
message
message.
to.
We'll do this live on air pretty soon.
Yeah. This is how the LoDown works. We show you how the sausage is made.
Yes.
Well, the vegan sausage, of course.
right.
It's made with oats and excessive amounts of gluten. Chris?
Went back to see who the most famous person from University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Okay.
Kathleen Turner.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a pretty big name.
Yeah.
All right. You walked in here a second ago saying Tito Francona took his team skydiving.
Well, he had gone skydiving. I guess he went a second time, but I say his team. He took a couple of the coaches. I think pitching coach and maybe someone else. Maybe it was a bullpen coach. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, he's not forcing anybody to do it.
Is that an invitation that you would politely decline?
There was a time where I really wanted to go skydiving and never did. I don't know that that's going to happen for me.
Like if the boss downstairs and our boss across the hall said, "Hey, J. Ross, we're doing this team building thing here, and we want to know if you'd like to go skydiving with us."
Do you say yes to that?
No, absolutely not. I'd be like, "No, thank you."
I went bungee jumping.
I wouldn't do that either. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I don't think I'll do that again. I enjoyed it. I'm afraid of heights, which is not terrified of heights, but I don't like heights. Which makes bungee jumping kind of a weird proposition. But I did it years ago, and I enjoyed it. But I don't need to go again.
Chris?
There's no way I'd get in a plane and jump out of it.
No. Are you happy that you went bungee jumping? Was it like satisfying?
It was a rush. I mean, it's exactly what you would. Even if you're afraid of a roller coaster, of something that.
What did you jump off of?
A crane. So it was. They used to have this out at Marine. What's that? Marine World in Fairfield, Vacaville, kind of that area.
Vallejo,
yeah, and that's not around anymore, which makes me wonder. But yeah, they had.
Well, no, it's just something else now.
No, I mean where the people were bungee jumping from. Yeah, no, that park's still there. But it was right close to that. Mm-hmm. And what I do remember is being on this humongous blue tarp down on the ground is where the crane kind of was. And then when you get put up there, I mean, it was 200 feet, 250 feet up there. I mean, it was way up there. I mean, and then it's one of those things where you're kind of looking out for me because I didn't really want to look down at down where I was ultimately going. The blue tarp that was humongous looked like just a tiny little Post-it.
No.
If we got someone to bring over a jump house, would you jump off the building?
Oh my God, Michael's going to kill himself pretending to kill himself. I always thought Michael could safely make the jump. That was a big bounce house.
No way.
I think he could have made it. He totally could have made the jump.
No.
He couldn't have made it on the trampoline, but the big bounce house, I think he could have made it.
Yeah.
How do you miss the bounce house?
I don't think the problem's missing it.
What was the problem?
You're going to go through it.
Well, yeah, but it'll break your fall.
Sort of.
Yeah, like cushion it. Right? It's like a table in a wrestling match. The table cushions the fall as you go to the concrete.
So you're saying
they know how to fall. No, I'm not saying
if we get 2,000 likes on Facebook, you'll jump off the building.
That's what I heard.
I feel like we'd have 2,000 likes by the end of today's show.
What would be the
and a crowd of people yelling, jump, jump, jump.
Hey, we could just say that and then say like, oh, management didn't want us to jump off the.
Good point.
I'd have to imagine management would frown upon us jumping off the building onto a bouncy house.
What would you say is the riskiest thing you've done like that? Like any kind of.
No, I don't. I can't. I don't have a single thing.
The funny thing is, so we this is years ago. It was recorded, obviously, on VCR or a videotape like that. But I have the tape, and looking at it, I haven't known the last time I saw it. But my brother, I went with him. They count you down. He jumps like he flies off a crane like Superman. I mean, and it's my countdown, and you see, and it's filmed from down low, and it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm just barely falling out. Like it would matter. Like you could jump out and do 10 flips, or but if I baby fall out, it won't be as scary. And that's what I was scared.
I'd like roll.
That's kind of what I did. It's like, well, I'm gonna go, but I mean,
if that's somehow gonna
like
slow
fall
my
slower?
fall
Yeah.
when the bungee cord breaks and I plummet to my death.
Yeah, it made sense to me just to go.
What is the feeling like when the cord snaps back up?
That's the feeling that was unique because the fall down off of the crane was, I don't know if anybody's jumped off a diving board, off of a roof onto, I mean, something obviously not that high, but you've had that feeling of dropping. The recoil and going back up was, whoa, like I lost my stomach a little bit. Like, I mean, I was fine, but it was not quite ready.
Jarring.
For that. Yeah.
It looks very, very jarring.
And so where, again, not a big fan of heights, did it the first time, we had 2 jumps. The second time, the same day, I went backwards, and I was wearing a hat. The hat flew off, and it was kind of hovering above me. You recoil all these times, and then it finally stopped. And that's when I got the bad thoughts in my head. Like, now I'm done. I'm recoiled, and the crane's going to lower you down. And I'm probably, at this point, once I'm fully stopped, 70 feet still off the. I mean, you're still way up there.
Wow.
And then I'm looking at the apparatus, the core. I'm like, this thing, and I was getting all the bad thoughts. Like, my life is right here. Hanging on to this little piece of equipment. Like, let's go. Get me down.
Was it at least a fluffy blue tarp? Like, what was?
It would not have been. It would have been.
It would have been over.
Yeah. My bracket would have ended.
The one would have beaten the 16, or the 16 would have beaten the 1.
In a landslide.
Oh,
so,
man.
Again, incredible rush, great feeling. I've done it. Don't need to do it.
Dude.
I kind of was intrigued by skydiving. You never were? Not even once?
I mean,
I don't think I'll. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll never do it.
I can't.
It looks like it would be fun, but I would be afraid.
I just, I think it's the process of, okay, Damien, you're going to get in a plane and jump out of it. I can't. That's the thing that I can't wrap my brain around. It's not the parachute. It's not the hovering above trees and the clouds and all of that. I'm going to take a plane into the sky
with the purpose of
and
jumping
jump
out of it.
Yeah. That's the part that I can't wrap my brain around it.
So it won't happen.
It's not happening. No, that's not going to be a team building exercise.
So the LoDown road trip.
No.
In the skies.
No bungee. Have you ever seen those things at the fair where they like slingshot you? Have you ever done that?
No.
That's a great thing to get into a rabbit hole on YouTube. Of like people just like passing out on it.
Yeah.
Where there's a kid that slides out of his harness.
Oh, I'm not watching that.
And he's like yelling. He's yelling at the woman with him. I don't know if it's his stepmom because he's just saying her name. He's just like, Janice, and she is laughing like it's the funniest thing in the world.
Poor kid thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
And the woman's laughing like crazy. Like, yeah, that's another thing I won't do. I don't even really like roller coasters that much. I mean, I did one of the big rides that one time I went to Disneyland last summer. Where you go, it was one of the drop
Tower
rides.
of Terror or whatever.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I can't remember all, but it was even that for me was like, yeah, this is just normally something I don't do. But like the people I was with were super into it. They're super Disneyland theme park people. So I was like, all right, this is cool. We'll do it. Fire Wings Hotline. Try one of their delicious 21 flavors of wings today. Fire Wings, just wing it. 339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. Michael, what's happening?
Gentlemen, I'm scared of heights as well, but they do have this indoor skydiving out in Roseville that I tried, and it was mind-boggling.
Okay, explain this to me.
You put on a suit, and it's a big wind tunnel, and they set you up over this wind tunnel, and you start floating as if you're skydiving.
Oh, but you're not actually like high in the air. No. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really a trip, and I never thought about doing it, and I did it, and it was so much fun. I've done it a couple times since.
Oh, okay. I'll do a LoDown field trip there.
Yeah, that one's safe.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I have terrible fear of heights. I mean, if I'm in an outdoor elevator, I got to turn backwards so I don't look out. It's that bad.
Yeah. Okay. Understandable. Right on, Michael. Thanks for that, man. We appreciate it.
So you do that?
I think I've seen videos of that before. I'd be down for that. Again, I don't think there's a fear of death in that, and there's also I'm eliminating the biggest problem:
the plane. Getting
in a plane, getting into the sky, and jumping out.
Yes. Well, the fear with the indoor skydiving is if it accidentally gets hit in reverse and you get sucked into the propeller, right?
What? How often does that happen?
That's not a thing. What's wrong with you?
That's not a thing. No.
What is wrong with you?
It was like a possibility.
Guardians of the Galaxy is the name of the ride. Thank you for the person who texted that. Now I remember. Now I remember the movie theme to the show. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy
not a thing.
Yeah, well, the Tower of Terror is
what it used to be.
I guess what it used to be. But that was the drop ride that I did. That it was. I mean, it was cool. I think I actually did it twice. AC, what's going on, baby?
Hey, that guy stole my thunder. I was going to tell you about the indoor skydiving, but I would say at this point you want to keep your producer away from that reverse switch if you go out and do
that. that's a good call. We try to keep Chris away from virtually everything. Try to keep him away from
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, signs that say keep away from children, pets, and for us here at the show, that's what it is. Yeah. It's children, pets, and Chris.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I think it's completely illogical to jump out of a perfectly good plane when you don't have to, but that's some people's cup of tea. But anyway, I went to the game last night, and for people that are wondering, why don't the Kings win more games? It's really hard to win in the NBA. Even Dallas, who's not supposed to be a good team, was tied with us for most of the first half. And, this is the NBA. All the best players in the world come to the NBA. And, we won that game fair and square, and it was a great effort. But, you're not always going to win, and we just have to live with that, and hopefully next year we'll get better.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right on, AC. We appreciate you, my man. Have a great one, all right? Yeah, Kings win last night, 116 to 110. I mean, they're 35 and 36. If this team finishes it, finish right around 500, hopefully, maybe a little bit above that. I mean,
yeah, my target's 42. That might be a little lofty. That's 7-4 finish with a 5-game road trip coming up. But why not reach for some goals? See if they can get to 42. Right now, they're already entering spots they haven't been in a long time. But I think there's a few more wins out there.
Colgate has come charging back.
Need to.
Tennessee 48, Colgate 47 with 12 minutes left in that one. What happened there? I don't know that Tennessee has scored since halftime. I don't know if you caught the announce table here for the Virginia Gardner Webb, excuse me. Grant Hill has a fantastic beard.
Is it gray?
It's the perfect patches? Combination of it's like sophisticated man.
Well,
gray.
He's always been the sophisticated man.
And it's perfectly cut.
Yeah.
Like that's a one. I think that's a 1-seed beard.
And he's the only one. Jim Nance is Nance and Raftery.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he's the only one.
Yeah.
That is a sophisticated beard for Grant Hill. I have beard envy. Like it doesn't work for me. Like I can't. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp. Am I going to lose you if this game over here on the right screen for us?
Yeah, I'm going home. Yes, you lose by leaving. Yes, I'm walking out.
Okay.
If Colgate beats Tennessee, I'm leaving.
Nice comeback though.
I need you to. I'm dead serious. If the toothpaste beats the Vols, I'm out.
All right.
You
go Tennessee,
Chris and Cody or whoever you want. You're finishing this crap by yourself.
I hope we have a lot of mailbags.
Because if I lose my national champion in round 1, I'm not sitting through the rest of this stupid show.
Yeah,
I'm leaving, and that's exactly what this show will be: is stupid. If Tennessee loses,
you'll turn that parachute thing in reverse.
Yeah, I absolutely will. That's 100% what will happen. It's time to head to athletics.com/tickets. New inventory for opening day is now available. One of my favorite basketball-themed movies came out 25 years ago. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of anniversaries today. We'll explain next. I think Jason missed the memo. I was going to walk out if Tennessee lost. Jason has walked out. If you're watching on the live stream on KH2K.com, you clearly see Jason's not here. Okay, there he is. I can't really hide it on a Friday. We've got tickets to see Eric Church coming up at 2:30, so make note of that. You can give us a call at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Set your alarm on your phone right now. Tell Siri to set your alarm. Tell Alexa to set your alarm. Tell Google to set your alarm. And at 2:30, that will be your opportunity to win tickets to not one concert by Eric Church, but two of them. It's a 2-night experience on November 22nd and 23rd. Virginia.
They woke up.
Has taken the lead. They are up 42-38, headed into a timeout with 15 minutes and 20 seconds left remaining in that game. That might be the proverbial corner.
Yeah, and especially because it's early enough, like you said earlier. If this game was what was going on in the first half and there was 4 minutes to go, they would have been in trouble. But now, not only do they have a 4-point lead, they might stretch this thing into a kind of a comfortable, maybe even cover the spread type of game.
I always root for the story.
Yes.
Except in the case of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Gardner-Webb beating Virginia would have been fun for us to be on the air for.
What's your pulse like now? 10 minutes to go, tie game, Tennessee and Colgate?
Yeah, I'm not feeling this at all because I didn't trust Tennessee headed into the tournament. I didn't trust Tennessee in the SEC tournament. I didn't trust Tennessee this season. I don't even know how they got here to a 2 seed, but they're here. As I kept picking them to win games, I thought, well, what the hell? Might as well do it.
Yeah.
Put them through. Get them to the championship, have them beat Michigan State in my final, and now they're taking a 2-point lead here, 54-52 with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left. We'll keep you updated. Of course, you'll know because if I'm gone, you know what happened in this game. And if you're watching, you will actually see me get up, probably throw a temper tantrum, and then walk out the door.
Where is Colgate? Is that like Vermont or something?
It's in my medicine cabinet.
Huh.
Colgate's in Vermont? Was that a fact or a question?
It was a question. I just saw it. Hamilton, New York.
Okay, you in Northeast. You were
close.
Colgate.
Yeah.
How many schools up here do you think? Well, all of those are pretty obvious. Where did we say Gardner-Webb was? North Carolina?
North Carolina, yeah. North Carolina.
It's time to head to Togo's for their original turkey and avocado with a large drink for just $5.95. 25 years ago, Above the Rim debuted. I thought, man, this will be fun. The Undefeated did a nice little profile in the movie Above the Rim. Came in. Jason, you've seen Above the Rim? Nope.
I have not seen Above the Rim.
Chris, movie aficionado. You've seen Above the Rim.
No, but I have seen the movie Six Man.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
I thought he was going to say no, but I have seen Air Bud. That's what I thought he was going to say.
I've also seen Air Bud.
What do either of those have to do with Above the Rim?
It's a basketball movie.
Well, so is White Men Can't Jump.
I mean, some might say that Six Man is better than Above the Rim.
No one would say that. That's absurd. Is Marlon Wayans in Six Man?
Yeah.
Oh.
Damien, have you seen Hoosiers?
No. Never seen that. Never seen
it. You don't have to see it.
I'm never going to.
It's awful.
It's not awful.
It doesn't look like, what is the story in this movie? I don't want to see it. I want to tell you about Above the Rim.
Okay, tell me about Above the Rim.
You need to go see I mean, this is a great, it's a Tupac movie.
Okay.
I think I must have watched this movie 1,000 times when I was younger. Had a really good soundtrack. Who else is in it? Dwayne Martin is in it. Bernie Mac. I forgot that Bernie Mac was in this movie. He plays a junkie.
Okay.
But he was a great basketball player before he became a junkie.
I miss Bernie Mac.
There's a lot of, I was going to say, there's a lot of people in this movie that aren't with us anymore. But I was just reading this profile from the Undefeated. I was like, man, this was a really, really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently not good enough for the rest of the members of the LoDown to see. So whatever.
Another embarrassing thing to say about movies, I've only seen one movie with Tupac in it, and it was Nothing But Trouble.
Oh,
how many movies was he in?
Wow, that's a bad look, dude.
I mean, to be fair, Nothing But Trouble is a great movie.
No, it's not. Dude, you haven't seen Juice?
No.
Juice was the movie. There's one scene in Juice where it's like, okay, Tupac is a star. And it's the Omar Epps locker scene. That scene is just freaking nuts. Man, you crazy. You know what? Last time you said that, I was kind of tripping. But you know what? And then his face straight. I don't give a. Oh, dude, that scene is everything That was the moment Tupac became a star. You need to go see Juice. You've seen Juice, right?
I have not seen Juice. Yeah. Who knew?
Have you seen Poetic Justice?
Nope.
Chris?
No. Is Tupac in it?
Yes.
I told you the only movie I've seen with Tupac is Nothing But Trouble, starring Chevy Chase and Demi Moore.
Oh, wait, Chevy Chase was in it?
Why is Tupac in that movie?
Digital Underground is in it.
Oh. That doesn't count. That's not a Tupac movie.
They sing their way out of jail.
The stupid...
I am not making any of this up.
I've got to see that.
Dan Aykroyd wrote it.
You don't need to see Poetic Justice because Janet can't act. It's good. It's a good... She tries.
Yeah.
But you don't. Like, there's a reason she only did one movie. But you've got to watch Juice.
Oh, she's in more movies.
Is she?
Yeah.
Like what? She's in The Nutty Professor.
Well, no, she's also in...
The Nutty Professor, too?
Now, Jason, are you thinking of Janet Jackson or Paula Abdul?
Oh, good point.
Did Paula Abdul do movies?
No.
I don't think she did.
What's the other one with Tyler Perry? Why Did I Get Married?
Oh, yeah,
There was
I
a couple
don't.
of
I
those.
have a hard and fast rule. Yeah. I don't watch Tyler Perry movies.
What?
I do not watch Tyler Perry movies.
Do yourself a favor.
You can take whatever card you want away from me, dude. I do not watch Tyler Perry movies under any circumstance.
Do yourself a favor and see Confessions of a Marriage Counselor.
No, not that one. I saw that one.
It is incredible.
Did you see Gone Girl?
I did. But that doesn't count. That
Yeah.
doesn't count. That doesn't count. I did see that.
None of the Medeas?
I make it a point to not see a movie where he's dressed as an old woman.
Yeah.
How about that?
I haven't seen those either.
He's done like some movies that I just don't. I never saw Precious. Well, I don't know that was a Tyler Perry movie, but I never saw it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Can I say in Gone Girl, that entire movie, I'm like, man, that guy really looks like Tyler Perry.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is almost identical to Tyler Perry. I got to look up who this guy is. And then Tyler Perry.
Here's a dumb fact of the day for the LoDown. When they announced, because Oprah was a part of the Precious movie, when Oprah announced the movie with, Monique, right? Monique, on her show, I was there. I was at a taping of the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Oh, wow.
Which is the single worst experience you could possibly have thinking you're going to go enjoy yourself.
Uh-huh.
It is miserable.
Oh.
You have to turn over your phone, your wallet, your keys. You have to wear like these bright colors that pop on television. You have to get there 4 hours before the show tapes.
No thanks.
It is awful.
Yeah, no thanks.
Absolutely awful. We're happy to bring in Sacramento Kings assistant coach Bob Thornton. Coach, your UC Irvine team, man, you nailed this call, my man.
I had this down from the minute I saw the matchup.
You spoke a number of reasons about why UC Irvine was going to beat Kansas State. I know you mentioned the time. I know you mentioned it being in San Jose, but you talked a lot about the way the team plays as well.
Well, they do a great job. They're very aggressive defensively. Russ has done a phenomenal job over his tenure at Irvine, and he's got the program at a really high level right now.
So how good does it feel? I mean, it's their first tournament win ever, just their second tournament appearance. And as we watched the game, it sure looked like they were confident. It felt like they knew they were going to win.
I tell you, it's fun to watch when, we hear a lot playing out west from other teams and conferences across the nation where we kind of don't get respected all that much. And to come out and play against a strong team like Kansas State and defend the way they did and come out and have the poise and attack in the second half and finish the game, it was beautiful to watch.
Are you confident they can keep going?
I think they can. I think this victory was something that's really going to boost their confidence and only give them more belief in themselves. So, whoever we match up next against is going to have a lot to deal with.
How much do you enjoy watching the tournament? I mean, I imagine the coaching element would be difficult because one and done, anything can happen. But how much just do you enjoy basketball and this tournament specifically?
Well, it's kind of a lot of fun because, during the season, we don't get many chances to watch that many college games because of our schedule and, our scouting for our team. But when you have opportunity and so many games on all day long, it's just great to watch these kids come out and play. And, of course, they're giving it their 100% because it's the dance. So it's fun to watch.
Sacramento Kings assistant Bob Thornton with us here, and UC Irvine alum with us here on the Lowdown. Coach, is there during this time of year, is there trash talking amongst, the different universities there in the locker room, whether it's with the players or the coaches?
Oh, I think there's quite a bit. I'm sure Buddy was bragging about Oklahoma, and Corey was really excited about Florida last night. So yeah, there's a lot of trash talking going on, and all in good fun, but it was great.
Bob, I grew up down there in Irvine, and I can't imagine, I don't even know what the community will react to this. It's kind of a low-key area. What do you think the reaction around Irvine, Newport, all those areas there will be reacting to this win?
I think they're going to be completely stoked, and it only brings more eyes to the program. And, again, what a great job that staff is doing there. Anything that can bolster the school and the UC system is only going to help. But, I think that it's just an awesome thing that happens when you get this kind of attention with a mid-major program.
Coach, I told our wonderful audience that if UC Irvine won that game and I had some winnings here, I'd have to split them with you. I'm going to hold 100% true to that. Unfortunately, I had a rough afternoon of late games yesterday, so I think my winnings went down the toilet. But if somehow I manage a couple of bucks, I'm splitting them with you. As actually all three of us, after I relayed our conversation, all three of us picked UC Irvine, so we're feeling pretty good right now about your school's win.
That's awesome. That's great, and if you guys do come out on the positive side, just pick a charity and donate it, and it's all good.
Done deal, Coach.
That's cool.
Great win for your university today. Great win for your Sacramento Kings last night. We appreciate you as always, my friend. You're one of our favorites.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
All right, that is Sacramento Kings assistant coach and UC Irvine alum, Coach Bob Thornton. Nice for him to join us. Yeah. Obviously, we orchestrated that entire conversation on the air, so thanks to Chris Clark and the Sacramento Kings. And obviously, Bob for coming on such short notice.
It's too bad they're heading out on the road because they're in San Jose. If they're getting Wisconsin or Oregon, winner, he'd get a chance to see his team in a second round. How awesome is that?
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff, man. We'll step out. We'll come back. We'll get back into the Sacramento Kings in just a little bit. Zion and Duke are going to make their debut. We'll talk about that at the top of the 2 o'clock hour. And Shaq, he has a new role. Okay, it's time to head to athletics.com/tickets. New inventory for opening day is now available.
If you want to follow the Lowdown on social media, you can find Damien at Damien Barling, Jason at Jason Ross 1140, Chris at the Champ KHDK, and me at Codi Baylor. Also, make sure to check us out on Facebook and search the Lowdown. Damien and Jason, back to you.
Thanks, Cody. Them good California avocados.
Avocado.
Yes, indeed. Big thanks again to Sacramento Kings assistant coach Bob Thornton for joining us on very short notice. Easy for me to say. Thanks to Bob for joining us on short notice. He's a UC Irvine alum, so that was a lot of fun to talk to him. UC Irvine advances today against Kansas State. Virginia has woken up. They are up 11 here in the second half against the number 16 seed Gardner-Webb. Tennessee up 6. With 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in that one, 66-60. So we'll keep you updated on all of these games. Buffalo and ASU underway. Buffalo up pretty big right now.
Oh, yeah.
In the first half. A couple of other games getting underway as well. Of course, we will keep you updated all throughout the day. And I think we've got an update. I'm a bit surprised by this one. Jared Cook going to sign with the New Orleans Saints.
Surprised because of the Raiders not keeping him? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But I think it's a great signing for the Saints.
I feel like this is an L for the Raiders.
Yeah. He was their leading receiver.
Kind of a big one.
Yeah. Now they've got other receivers, but he was still a weapon, and he was good. He was a good Raider in the short amount of time he was with the silver and black. So Drew Brees getting another weapon is scary for the rest of the NFL.
He doesn't have enough.
Yeah. So good for him. Good for the Saints.
I really want to see the Saints win another one, man.
I do too.
I mean, I know you do, but I
as does Aunt Leah.
See them, and that's all that really matters to me is Aunt Leah's happiness. Shaq has a new gig here. Apparently, Shaquille O'Neal will be a member of the Papa John's board of directors, as well as an investor in 9 Papa John's restaurants in the Atlanta area. And he will enter into a marketing agreement as a brand ambassador for Papa John's.
Okay. I'm assuming, is he on some of the commercials too going forward?
I would imagine
is so heavily endorsed.
I'd imagine he's replacing that previous turd, the actual Papa John.
Okay.
Who recently staged a coup to try to get his company back.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Not well.
Yeah.
Not well. But I'm curious about this. And this was someone brought this up on the text line, and it actually made me laugh. So Shaquille O'Neal's going to rehab because this is what this is about, right?
Seemingly.
Shaquille O'Neal is going to rehab the image of Papa John's. We're going to ignore that everyone I have ever encountered says they have crappy pizza. We're just going to completely ignore that part and just talk about their image issue. Shaquille O'Neal is going to fix that. Wasn't he going to mentor a certain volatile center that used to play in the city of Sacramento?
There was talk of that, yeah.
But talk of it by who?
Shaq.
Oh, how'd that go?
I don't know if that ever happened.
Oh, it certainly doesn't appear that it did.
Right.
Does Shaq still own the Kings? Is that something we're not allowed to talk about?
No, I mean, I don't even know what the real. I mean, I would actually like to know.
He was all over Sports Center with Vivek.
Anywhere at that time, if I was filling in for G-Man a little bit and traveling, is Shaq? How often do you see him? Is he like in different arenas? You go. So is it weird having Shaq as your owner? I'm like, that's not really a thing.
I think I've seen Shaq here like twice.
Yeah, and I think if any, and it was early on, and then I know in Atlanta if he's at TNT, he's been at some of the Kings game before. But yeah, I don't know.
Is he my Sacramento Kings?
Yeah, it's almost more like a figurehead, a face.
No,
but he's not even.
But he's not.
Part. Right.
And why? Okay, I honestly don't know the answer to this. Was this but I've heard, so I'm not posing this question as I know. I'm posing this question to ask if you know. Was this the impetus of the issue with Chris Webber?
Oh, I think that's part of it for sure.
Okay,
and I don't blame.
This
Chris.
It's always what I had heard.
Right.
Like Chris looked at this like what the hell?
Yeah, because Chris allegedly, and again, without knowing 100% into the true stories of what's going on behind closed doors, but I think he wanted to invest as well and be a part of it. And I don't know if it was a separate group, but even any which way, I think he was willing to be a part of it. And I'm sure it hurt him to a core that one of the biggest rivals, and I think he has a good relationship with Shaq now, but that Shaq's getting this kind of attention and not Chris Webber. I mean, Vlad is here. Now Paige is here. And Shaq, and not that Shaq's here, but I'm sure that bothered Chris Webber. I'm sure of it.
If the Kings were to make the playoffs next year, does he show up at a playoff game?
Yes.
Think so?
I think so. Yeah. And I don't think anyone cares. I mean, I'm not salty about it. Like, it's just weird.
Right.
It was weird then because we know what this stuff is. This is buying like a fraction of a ownership stake. It's like being a stockholder. Like I own a whole bunch of companies, right? Because I have stock in them. I'm technically an owner. Yeah, but dude, not like right. Apple's not calling me because I own 3 shares of Apple to make, some decisions on what they're doing. But that's what this is. You use the term figurehead. It's perfect. It was just weird and still feels weird because of the Chris Webber thing where Chris was like, wait a minute. Like I was in.
Yeah.
Like I was down to do this, but you went with him?
Right.
That's odd.
And they brought him in on different things, some of the rallies and to keep Chris Webber. Chris Webber was, I think, trying to do his part.
Does he have more endorsements now than when he did as a player?
Shaq?
When he was a player?
Oh, for sure. To me, I think he's everywhere. And I'm trying to think of them all.
Gold Bond?
Yeah.
The General?
The General was the weird one.
Why?
Because that was like...
Because he's talking to a cartoon?
Yeah, and it's a bad cartoon, and it's the commercials you would see when you were like sick at home from school.
Midday.
Did he have a car? Didn't he have a car that he used
I think so. He has Ring, the security.
Smart system, yeah.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Icy
now he
Hot.
has Papa John's Icy Hot.
Yeah.
We just named 5.
Yeah.
Does he still have Shaq the shoe that sells at like Target or Payless or something?
And not a commercial for it if he does, that I know of.
My goodness, man. Who's Shaq's agent? Because that guy's good.
Yeah. Now, the question about endorsements, is he making more money now? I'm sure he is, right?
I mean, he was a part of the. Well, I wonder what he topped out at.
I don't know, but then
because there's been an influx since then.
Yeah,
that's one of the great mysteries with TV broad is what those guys at TNT make.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've heard numbers, but like you hear like numbers speculated as to what those guys make, but no one really knows for sure. If a guy has an option, and Charles Barkley has talked about this before, between TNT and ESPN, they're always going to take TNT because you have to work a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
When you work for ESPN, if you're you have to do Sports Center, you have to do Golic and Wingo, you've got to do all of that stuff. Where at TNT, you just show up in Atlanta, you go to the studio, and now they've added this, the NCAA tournament. They all got contract readjustments, restructures when the NCAA tournament was added to the Turner Network.
Yeah. Also being told Carnival Cruise Lines for Shaq from our own Sean Cunningham.
Thanks, Sean. That's 6. We just named 6 endorsements post-retirement for Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Good for him.
Man, this computer is working slow because I clicked on this link because I looked up Shaq endorsements, and what comes up is an SI article in 2015, the top 50 Shaq endorsements.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. We'll step out. We've got to get back into college basketball here. Tennessee. I was actually thinking about what I was going to do with the last hour of my day.
You're good.
But apparently I'm doing a radio show. As number 2, Tennessee is going to hold on and beat Colgate. They're up right now, 14 seconds left, 75-67. We'll get you updated on all the NCAA games. And the Zion Cam, it's a real thing. We'll explain next.